I planned everything carefully, scheduled my paratransit, timed my Greyhound, and I still missed my bus. And then I thought to myself, it made me rethink, what does accessibility really look like? So over the weekend, I decided to visit my cousin that is currently in a rehab in Wilmington, Delaware, recovering from an injury. So I was traveling. If you can, please donate or share the GoFundMe that's listed in the comments. Like I explained, my cousin, she was hit by a drunk driver, and she's in a wheelchair as well, and she's been greatly affected. It would really help. Because, I wanted to see her to, as she suffered something that was very horrendous, and we both are, very close. We both share the same condition, etc. But yeah, it was, I went to go see her. We have to plan accordingly because, when you're traveling with somebody in a wheelchair or disabled, you have to make sure everything kind of aligns. So I took the Greyhound down there. Everything is fine. Took paratransit to the hospital. Everything was fine. When you get there, it's a window you have. So even if you schedule, you have to have a window between. For myself, I had a window between 12 and 12:30 to get picked up to go to the hospital. So, everything worked out. Had a good time, etc. Now, upon returning, now that's the kicker. I had to get to my bus at 5 o'clock. So I had a time schedule between 3:45 and 4:15. My ride was running late. I wanted to finish some last things. Called paratransit. They said they're running late. Went upstairs for a few minutes. Came back downstairs. Didn't give me a status of the trip to tell me where they're at. So when I came back downstairs, the security told me that my ride left. My paratransit left. I was like, what am I gonna do? I timed everything. Now it's 4:30. Now I'm thinking, how am I gonna get to the station? So basically, I called paratransit, which is DART over there in Delaware. So when I called DART, I'm like, oh, could the bus come back? They're like, it's gonna be another hour or so. I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to think quick. I need to find out what's the next bus. So I looked on my phone. It said the bus is about 14 minutes away to get to there. And I'm like, okay, I have enough time. Don't have the option, have limited options. Don't have the option of Uber. Don't have the option of Lyft, because the options in some cities don't have wheelchair accessible vans, which is, kids inconvenience, because I would have got there really quick. So I took the city bus. Got on the city bus. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it. I have enough time. Make it just in time. Got on the city bus. The driver's trying to make sure I'm locked in. I'm like, no, let's just go. I'm good. They missed my bus. Definitely missed my bus. I looked out the window. I'm like, we arriving at the Amtrak Greyhound station. I'm like, yeah, that bus is gone. It's gone. So I had to think quick. I didn't feel stressed because accessible travel never is go wrong, but because when accessible transit systems fail, the margin of error, the margin of options feels even smaller. Round trip ticket. So I'm like, damn, I already paid for my ticket. It's past 5 o'clock. The other option I have is taking the Amtrak. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take the Amtrak. Amtrak tickets is $70. I already bought my ticket for Greyhound. So I'm in there like, dang, what am I gonna do? I got there, like I said, I still missed my bus. I'm like, so it's just stressful, like trying to figure out what to do. Got my ticket, luckily, I found a ticket that was not too expensive. Like, it was $72 at first, but then I found like there's one ticket left, got a ticket for $25. Cool. Great. So now I have to wait 3 hours for the train, So, see, a lot of the times when you go somewhere, especially like Amtrak, a lot of the times they will say, "Oh yeah, it's accessible," but you know, when you board in Amtrak, you have to have they basically have to get a board for you to get on the train. It's a lot of preparation. So when you have to let them know that you're, you know, boarding. Now, as I'm entering the Amtrak, that's another thing. It's very narrow for a motorized wheelchair. You know, I have a standardized power chair, but to turn in that space is very difficult. And it's a lot of turning and stuff like that. You know, I'm scratching up in my chair. It's very inconvenient, you know. So people, I don't understand, you know, like I said, to me, Amtrak they're very old systems. So it could be difficult. Even Greyhound, you know, going there, it could be an inconvenience. Not for myself, but you know, you have other passengers that are on a bus. You know, when you're on Greyhound, you're taking up about 4 seats when you get on the bus, because they have to put the chair there. People buy their seats, you know, and they get upset if they see you're in a spot where they're sitting and it's an inconvenience to them. So sometimes, even though you get your ticket ahead of time, Amtrak was an inconvenience to me, and then taking Greyhound can be an inconvenience to others because of the space, and it can be very stressful. Accessibility is not about whether I could technically enter, but it's if I could enter with ease and dignity. Accessibility shouldn't feel fragile. It should feel reliable. Being independent shouldn't be relied on for perfect timing. Let that be clear. Thank you for listening.